Hello, my name is Zombie878 and welcome back to another YouTube video. Today we'll be going over how to add audio to the projectile launcher chip gun and, you know, go over extra stuff you could do with the projectile chip. That's what's taken me so long. I've been messing around with the chip to see what you could do with it, and I also fixed my controller drift, so hopefully we can get through this a little quicker and I won't be moving to the right as much. Okay, so right now we're in front of the gun that we made, and just like before, oh, I got the gadgets on. Well, we'll keep the gadgets on. So, as you can see, you can shoot through the scope, it fires like a minigun, and it actually kills people. So anyway, let's start. Let's get a audio player chip. So just type in audio, get the audio player, and get the sample audio, because that's how you record the audio in Circuit V2. That's how to make custom audio, but if you don't want the custom audio, you could just get a sound effects chip and use the sounds in the game. So for example, just put this down and just pick whatever sound effect you want. I think there's a trigger handle one down here. Uh, Trigger misfire? Toggle button on. Let's go with trigger misfire. So we got trigger misfire. Turn that up to 10. Interrupt current sound. Interrupt current sound. You want to turn this on so every time you hit the trigger, it plays this over and over again. If you don't have this on, even though you're spamming the trigger, it only plays that sound effect until it's done. So that's the stop. That's to make the audio line up with your trigger shots. You're definitely going to want to put this on sync so other people can also hear this. So when you're pressing the trigger, other people know where you're pressing the trigger. So we're also going to put 3D audio on. So let's say somebody was over here and I was over there and I was trying to find them in like a map. If they press the trigger and fire a gun, I'm going to be able to hear where that trigger fire is coming from. Then, just like before, we're just going to want to move this to the trigger, turn this around, and put this right here. You could also do this for the gun, but you don't exactly have to. And of course, we're going to move this out of the way. Just gonna move this and put this right here. So every time the gun fired, you're going to hear this. Well, actually, you don't want this to happen every time the gun fires. So instead, going to take this and we're going to make the trigger misfire happen before the int variable. So now if you pick up the gun, every time you press the trigger, you hear the trigger. Okay, all's well and good. Let's go ahead and add an in-game sound effect. So let's just place one right there. We're going to want this to happen when the gun fires, because this is going to be the gun firing sound effect. Connect this to your clamp and find the good sound effect for this. I'm just going to go with a cannon fire. Even though that's kind of too loud for the gun. Actually, you know what? Let's just go ahead and turn that down to 5. Now when we fire, every time it fires, it does that. So now let's go over how to make custom sound effects. So as I said, have your audio player and your sample audio. You can't do anything with the audio player just yet. So configure the sample audio, go into chip settings, edit sample, and here you can record 300 seconds of audio. So I'm going to be right back after I'm done recording the custom audio. Hello everybody, I am back. I recorded the sample audio. And now that we got the sample audio, let's edit the chip. That's where the audio plays. Let's preview the clip. Perfect. Let's press done. Connect the sample audio to the audio on the audio player. Let's delete this because we don't need this anymore. We're going to replace it with this one. So let's move this down, rotate it around, and let's line this up. And connect this to the clamp gizmo. Going to put this up here. Going to also move the sample audio right here. So every time the gun fires, this plays. And we're just going to configure the volume so the max volume is 1, playback speed is 1. We want to change the audio channel, not the voice, but we're going to want to change it to sound effects. Change this to 3D audio, interrupt current sound, go make sure it's synced. Let's also make sure that this is, yep, everything's ready. And now, whenever we fire a gun, it doesn't play. It's delayed. So to stop it from being delayed, we're actually going to edit our sample audio. And you see right where the audio starts. So there's all this emptiness over here. We're just gonna slide this. And we're just gonna move it to the beginning of the audio. Right there. Press save. The trim portion will be lost. So do not press this unless you are sure you want this to be lost. So we're just gonna trim that. Trim the end a little bit. And there we go. We got our audio. Now press done. You can test it out again. There we go. So now we have a nice custom gun. Whenever you click, Let's go ahead and cut that sample a little bit shorter. Go ahead and I want it the peak the highest. So I'm gonna move it over here. Then I'm gonna save this. Okay, that's completely fine. And now we got custom audio that works every time we press the bullet. Okay, and now let's get on to some fun things we can do with the chip. Because actually, what you can do, where's the projectile launcher chip? Right here. If you edit the projectile launcher, as we went over yesterday, this is how to make it so it damages a player. Which we do got our auto count right here. We could just test that again. But I think it would be better if I copied it. So I'm just going to go ahead and highlight everything here. Get ourselves a second gun. And I also forgot to say this, but if I hold this, yeah, it's going to make the other gun fire. So to stop that gun from firing, we're going to have to change this int variable name to something else. Let's just change it to V right now because that all of them? No. And just go ahead and pick this up. That will stop that. You want to make sure that your second gun has a different name, otherwise that's going to happen, and you don't want that to happen. So let's go ahead and get the projectile chip over here. Any other chip we're missing? We're missing the vector gadget. Move the vector gadget over here. And now we have a second gun. So, like I said, what I wanted to talk about was if you're going to have multiple players have different guns, you're going to want to change the name of the bullet count so it doesn't constantly fire the other gun like that. And you're going to want to make sure you have an if player is local chip. So let's just get an if player is local chip. It should come up. And we want to place this right here. We're also going to do it for this gun. And what this is going to do, I'm going to show you before we continue. If I pick this up, it shows 40 bullets, but you can't really see this. But the subtitle is also showing up on my auto count. I'll try to get it side by side if I can. And basically, my auto count can also see the bullet count, which we don't want that. because if you have multiple players, you want each of them to have a different bullet count. The same thing if you picked up a gun. Let's see if I can get him to pick up a gun real quick. And let's just have him look down and pick up the gun. You see it shows the bullet count, which you do not want. So we're just gonna have him throw that gun away. Actually, that's perfect. We're just gonna leave the gun in his hand. You see it shows the bullet count. So to stop that, we're going to want to connect the subtitle to this. So make sure the if goes to here, make sure the player is the one holding the trigger handle, and make it go to the subtitle. And now he's showing his own count. And if I hold this gun, where? Oh, I need to bring this over. We're also going to take the person holding this and have them go over there. Is local. Having the person who's local is the one holding the chip. If they're not local, they're not the one holding the chip. So if I do this, I'm going to have my own bullet count, and his bullet count will not be affected.
Game on!
Okay, now if I grab the gun and I shoot at him, it doesn't show the health bar.
Game over!
I need to change that. Let's also change the health up too. So I'm going to change the health to 500. And I'm also going to make it so you don't auto heal. And make sure the HUD is on. And now we can start the game. And I can actually show you what I was going to do with the health.
Game on!
So now, if I fire, obviously it does more to his head, less to the torso, and even less to the hand. So what I wanted to show you was, let's get him down to even lower HP. There we go. Now if you edit the chip, the projectile launcher chip, let's go ahead and make this, get a combatant. Where is it? Combatant get health chip. And you want a combatant set health chip. And you also want a addition chip. So besides the gun doing damage, let's disconnect this. You're going to want to wire the damage up here, and you want to wire the health up there. So it gets the health of the hit player. The health of the hit player is 20. So it goes at 20. It will add the damage or whatever body part you hit, whether it's the head, torso, or hand. It will take the damage and it will add it to that to get the new number, which is 50. We just connect that to the health, and we connect the target to the hit health. And besides it doing damage, it's going to do health. So, if we grab this, besides the killing him, it should add health. And there you go. You can make a gun that does damage and a gun that heals. And there you go. That is how you make a gun do damage. A gun heals the person. The leaderboard stat goes up. And custom audio. Also, a little ding to help the bullet count be local to that player so not everyone sees it. Sorry, I got a cough. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. Like, comment, and subscribe. And maybe I'll make more tutorials later. Sorry for the delay, by the way. Like I said, fixing my controller drift. Also getting editing software that hopefully does not put a watermark on the video. Anyway, like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.